Now that we have one test set up for one unit test set up for SwiftUI button tap, that sets us up to now begin adding more tests, which will help us create the behavior for this game. Hey everyone, welcome to the Quality Coding live stream. My name is John Reed. I am a technical coach, work with teams around the world. And greetings to those who are already here, Mudshark, Grant, very chill. And hey, Dan and Al, good to have you. Dustin, and first-time chatter. Roy, welcome. Good to have you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for your patience with my schedule, having not the 1 week I planned off, but that became 2 weeks, so sorry about that. That's just how it fell out. But I'm glad to be back. I've been really eager to get into this session. And so, without further ado, let's just dive in. We are working on Mastermind. This is somebody else's Mastermind game. This is not the one we have. Mastermind is a game of a code, secret code, and you try to guess what it is. Now, one thing we have, let me show you. Hey, Haresh. Currently, we have one single button. And when you tap it, it turns orange. Like, that's it. That is the game so far. When I look at this, I notice that if I tap a color, like you can see the blue selection, the blue marker there shows where the color is going to land. And you can move this around by tapping in here, but if for the sake of trying to get something really like small, thin slices, I'd like to tap on a color and have it land there. So I'm feeling like tapping on this button is not what we want. Although right now it's a game where you can't lose. Let's go to our Miro. This is the grand scheme of things. Here's where we did some story mapping, and here's our discovery tree. Oh, I want to review it because it's been a while. I want to review sort of the things I want to learn and really work on. There are certain things that are pretty baked into me. Discovery trees, Arlo's commit notations, story slicing, and evolutionary design. I just do. I'm very used to those. But there are others that I want to grow in. Refactoring in Xcode. You'll notice I'm using Xcode. I still could use app code, but that doesn't feel polite because you can't get it. Even if you want it, you can't get it, which sucks. Yeah, Grant, add one hole, tap the button, fills the hole. That's the whole game. Yep, exactly. That you guys get it. We are creating the minimalist, the minimal game. So let's add some things. But before we do, I want to clean up the tests. Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Some things that I want to lean into. Refactoring in Xcode is one thing. TDD as if you meant it. Discovered that's not as easy with, at least with With views, TDD as if you meant it means you create the production code in the test code, and then you extract it to production code as you need to. That's not as simple for a SwiftUI view. Once we get outside of SwiftUI land, then I'll be able to start doing that. Micro objects. That is something I want to really lean into this time. It is the way, it's the opposite of using primitives or primitive obsession. And primitive obsession is a code smell that I think I am too used to the smell because I've worked for most of my career in legacy code. And so being around other coaches has really helped me, other technical coaches, as they're like, that looks like primitive obsession. I'm like, oh yeah, that is using primitives. Nullables. At the Agile Open Northwest, James Shore was there and gave a great session, led a great session on nullables, his pattern language for avoiding mocks and spies and avoiding setup and teardown. It's something I want to try. So I just mentioned these things to call them to mind and to call them to my mind. So, this article itself is from my first post in this series. We always use strings to represent the username, even if they're supposed to be emails. Yeah, it'll be interesting, I think, to get into this. All right, so you're right. We do need to mix things up here. We need like a place, two colors from which you can guess. And here's the thing. Oh, wait. I want to clean up the test first. I did try something. This is the shape of our test. Not even two colors yet. Just one. Oh, okay. Yes. I like it. Good. Great idea, Grant. Let's review what this test is, because there's some things about it that I think were unintuitive at first, but it's just an idiom and some things that we can improve. One thing that is like that we had to do in the production code is add this did appear closure, which starts off, it's optional, so it starts off with nil. And when the view appears, it calls the closure and passes itself in. So this is the trick for how do we test re-rendering, basically. And there's nothing SwiftUI, I mean, View Inspector-ish about this. It just, oh, wait. Yes, there is. This closure here is not quite the same closure as here. This is a helper, it turns out. It is because it is view in here is already an inspectable object, and this can throw. So whereas there's nothing in here, so it's helpful, it's good. One thing I noticed, if I run the tests here, there we go. Yeah, we'll get there, much. Hang on. We had to do this view hosting thing, and if I fail to do that, the test fails. There's something we can do that's better that I thought we don't need it, but it is helpful. And that is that this on, this is view inspector, returns a test expectation. And so if I say that expectation, hello, is it going to do it? I'm sort of waiting for Copilot to kick in. Maybe I need to fire it up. So I'm doing something else that's new in my life is trying out. It's not going to work. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that much. That'll still pass. And now I should be able to say, wait. There we go. Let's give it less of a timeout than that. Whoops. Needs more of a timeout than that? What's going on? I'm puzzled because I spent a fair amount of time yesterday going through this just to refresh my memory because it's been a while. How can this be? Thank you. Quite right. Thank you, folks. This is why I'm so glad to have you. All right. So, why do this? Why follow this pattern? First, the fact that this sets up an expectation that I was just throwing away or ignoring, it felt a little funny to have that, because now if like we're missing the view hosting, yes, now that is exactly the problem. It was not good enough. But you notice now, if the view hosting is not present or it's too late, the expectation fails, which tells us something different. So I think that is a better test. Something like that. There's maybe one more thing we want to try, but first let's check this in. This is a test-only change. Use expectation. Wait for expectation. Push. Something else that is interesting is in the view inspector documentation. And here we can have a debate. State, we used approach 1 because it's simple. The thing that is maybe not so great about it is that it's not clear from this code what did appear is for. Like it's for, you know, this is a testing hook. Is it possible to extract the expectation part into a helper that takes a block? Make our test better. Let's see, but first let's explore this other question. So advantage of this approach is it's fairly easy. Disadvantage I see is it's not clear that it's for inspection. Maybe we could just rename it. There's the number 2 approach, which is more flexible. It involves adding a little bit of code to here. We can just do it and we can see what it looks like. So it's here, copy. View inspector hook. Yeah, see, that might be good. That might be good. Here's the other way to do it. And let's think about which is better. So we create this thing called an inspection, and then we do have to, in the test code, say that inspection conforms to an inspection emissary. And then we create an inspection instead of the did appear. And instead of on appear, we do an on receive of an inspection notice. Is this better? It's more complicated. Maybe the rename will take care of it for us. What do you think? So this is more flexible, but maybe we don't need it. Maybe we'll just go with the naming. Had to try it to see. If you disagree, well, I'm about to reset. And let's try rename then. Yeah, we'll keep it in mind. So let's call this hey Omar, good to have you, and thanks for your email. I appreciate it. Totally makes sense. So thank you. But I'm glad you're here. So what do we want to call this? Like a test hook, view inspector hook. What's it look like here? It looks pretty good. Let's go with it. It's a better name, I think. All right. So this is a automated refactoring, so lowercase. And now let's come back and see if we can't make this better. Instead of doing all this stuff, want to come back to Mudshark's idea. Is it possible to extract the expectation, basically pull this out, because all this is boilerplate. It's not really part of, it's necessary, but it's not expressive. And Dustin, I wonder if it's possible to create some sort of decorator to use in testing that decorates a view with the view inspector hook. Potential rabbit hole of doom and dismay. I wonder. Let's see if we can't do this, but I don't know if we can. Let's see what type of closure this is. So here's the closure type. No. What I really want to do is take this and do an extract variable, but I can pretty much guarantee that that won't work. So, trying by hand. Hey, first time chatter, Ulaz Dins, welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. Yeah, so let's see if, I mean, it's not complaining. It builds the test okay. I should be able to now take this and cannot convert. Whoa. What? Oh, self game screen. There. Okay. So now let's try to extract this and call it we'll fix up the name and we'll fix this. Okay. Now let's inline this into the trailing closure. Which lets us do that. All right. This is starting to look like something. This is a great idea. What is it? What is this doing? And can we avoid passing in the SUT like that? Maybe not. Does it have to be in out? Well, let's try and... No. It has to be mutate it, so it's got to take that. Yeah. All right. So if we look at it in terms of the test code, forget sort of, we forget its definition for a second, or it's, yeah, what it does. And we say, what are we doing here? We're setting up an SUT load using. That's an idea. Load and this is a trick I learned. If you give an anonymous name the same name as its thing, it coalesces it. And now we can do an extra rename using I don't know. Load SUT with the view. I know I'm mumbling it over and over again, but this is, we're trying to make the test expressive here. Wait for the SUT to appear and run this code. It is. Using well, it's better than pants, right? That's why we follow Arlo's naming style. I'm going to commit this, and I don't like file private if I can help it. I prefer private. Let's commit it. What did we do? We did a test-only change, so it's not mucking with production code. So this is extract helper to load view. Nice. All right. I'm liking it better. Inspector hook. Perform the inspector hook, but it does let you know what the block is when you look at the function. Inspect, prepare for inspection. Hey, El Tigre, by the way. Funny, I added special icons for subscribers, and so it shows like I get that because apparently I'm subscribed to my own stream, but I thought it was supposed to appear instead of the generic little crown thingy. Oh well, I'll work on that. Other things in here. One thing we're going to bump up against is that right now we're presuming a button, like that the game screen has a button right there. Instead of going, find the button, find a button maybe with a particular ID and tap it, and same thing here. If we're going to separate this so that tapping one thing changes the color of something else, you see what I mean? Right now, this test is fragile. It's very sensitive to the shape of the view itself, the structure of it. And we want it to not care about the structure of it. We also have this bit of duplicate code here. What to do? I think it is time to start adding IDs so that we can target things without regard to where they are. Display SUT, displayed view in. You could pass in a callback to the button for what, Mudshark? Display is nicer. Displayed view? I think I'm going to stick with view. Quick, easy rename. All right, let us, so that the button can change a value, whatever it may be. Well, maybe, but let's work on the IDs. Something aside about committing code. I see you commit every single small change, but does the remote branch need to know all these changes, or can we squash what is not necessary in history to keep the history cleaner? Great question, Omar. As you know, as you can see, I favor lots of small changes, and the problem with squashing is if something goes wrong and you need to get back to a certain point, or you need to bisect. If you've ever used git bisect, it's wonderful. But basically, the idea, it does, it's an automatic helper where you say, for example, things were good here, but they broke here. Something in between broke it, and I don't know what. What is the exact change that broke the behavior? And if you squash everything into a large commit that has all these things, then you don't know, basically, if that commit is what broke the build, it's any one of those things. Whereas if each commit is super small, then and you find which commit breaks the build, it'll be much more clear. We can also now look at the history, and even before doing git bisect, by identifying the risk factor using Arlo's notation, you can spot like that. Anything that's uppercase, you can spot anything that's bang bang, you can spot anything that's star star for like it's broken. We're just doing stuff. That it is probably not any of these other changes. So even without git bisect, it can help you with your analysis. Wishing for a version control system that supports some sort of hierarchical commits. Yeah. You can probably filter out the save commits if you want. Yep, exactly. You can create all sorts of filters on this stuff. Does that strategy apply when working on teams? It does. It works great. And yes, am I rebasing? In my case, of course, I'm not, because I'm the only committer. Although I made a change via the GitHub web page to my README. And so I had to pull that in. But generally, I am rebasing. Rebase versus merge doesn't matter so much when the changes are so small. It really matters less, especially because rebasing, if you have, I guess it depends how painful the rebase is. Rebase can be painful. If somebody else has made a big change that you now need to like filter in all your things, well, that's a reason not to stack a whole bunch of commits. Well, here's the thing about branching. Yeah. Goodbye. Nope. Nope. So with trunk, exactly, Grant. Trunk-based development is really superior to branches. Everyone, what this means on a team is that folks are pushing all the time, and you're working on a change, a commit. And when it comes time for you to push and it says, oh, whoa, you're out of date. And you're like, okay, fine, I'll pull. And I have Git set up to rebase when I pull. And because I only have one commit, that is one change set, the rebase itself it's no different than merging, really. And iron it out. And because especially if everyone's doing small changes, it comes in pretty easily. Now, when do you ever get into a situation where like some big change comes in? Yeah. That's usually when you should like alert your teammates and say, hey, I am renaming this thing. Everybody hold on. Or I'm moving this thing that everybody uses. I'm pulling it out. So bear with me. And I'll let, here it comes. Like, be ready. You don't even have to ask permission. You just sort of do it and tell everybody so that they can update. I saw this. This is exciting news. Basically, the Swift LSP is getting refactoring support, and they're like saying submit PRs for refactorings you want. Super excited. Super excited. Whoops, come back. In this case, do you have as a policy to not push a broken commit? Yes. You don't. If another coworker commits something broken and you rebase or merge, you can't validate your code anymore. Well, that's why you have a couple of things in on a team that's doing CI as opposed to a team that's using CI tools. You push and you move on. The CI build system now takes over, and if anything fails, like if a test fails, it puts up a big old warning for everybody saying, whoa, stuff is broken. And it is the number one priority to stop work. Fix that thing. Yep. Give it a try. Learn a little more about trunk-based development and micro commits. I did have some known broken commits. And maybe those ought to be squashed. So that's a good question I don't have a clear answer to. Yeah. It's also part of just communicating with the team. Hey, you talk. All right. Great asides there. Let's move on. And let's see if we can't begin to flesh this out. Come back, preview. Oh, IDs. That's where we were going. I want an ID for things. Uh, So I'm not using gestures at this point. I'm just sticking with buttons. I do think that this bit of duplication here is going to get in our way. And it would be good to extract that. What the heck kind of extract is that? Wow. Xcode. How about this? Okay, that's better. So this is, get the color of, what? Let's use the long name first. Implicit use. And does this need to, I don't think this needs to return an optional color. I think it can just return. Nope. Fine. All right, so that is an extract. Oop. Automated refactoring extract get color helper. And let's use it here. Let's see. Yes, yes. Hmm? Looks like inspect doesn't know enough at that point. Revert. Try again. Can I extract that? All can throw, but is marked with try. I'm trying to remember, what is the fix all? How come it's not highlighted? I've got an issue. Oh, Xcode, you funny thing. All can throw, but is not marked with try. Did you mean this question mark always throws me off. I'm like, did you mean to use try? And I read that question as an optional. Fix all. I'm used to doing that like to fix all the fixable issues that it finds in one shot. And so I'm surprised that it didn't highlight it. So that was an extract. Extract var, but what is its type? What type do we need it to be? Can we give it an explicit type? No. Why not? What's going on here? Inspect returns and fine. I'll say it is that, whatever classified view is. The problem is I want to call this helper. Get color of guess. Can I change this to classified view? Like maybe it was offering too much detail. Damn. Okay. A puzzle. How do we coerce this thing into this thing? Now, this is where SwiftUI, Swift and I are not friends. But maybe you are. What the heck is this? It's view inspector stuff, you know? How? And I'm pretty sure cast the view game screen to classified view. Like here? Can you make the view generic? Yeah, that might be the issue. So we have, Dustin, we have this helper that takes all this mumbo jumbo but the inspected view is not of that type. This is the thing I want to replace with the helper. And I can't take get color of yes and pass in inspected view. It will freak out. So. And this is where some view. Yeah. I doubt that some view was going to come into play because we are outside of SwiftUI land, essentially. You know, View Inspector sets up its own sort of parallel universe of things based on the SwiftUI declarations. Yeah, let me bring that back. And we can't. Let me now try to change this view type. Will that fix that error there, but fail here? Okay. I think this is where Mudshark was trying to lead us. Now what? How do Hey, Yvonne. All right. Let's use another tool. I've been experimenting with this other thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Omaha! What the heck? What the heck? I don't even know what you did. Gifting subscriptions to your friends. Damn, man. Thank you. Wow. I guess you can get a subscription. I don't even know what a level 2. Oh, what a level 2 hype train. What can you do with this? I don't know. I'm not a big Twitch person, as you can see. I just use the thing. But I understand subscriptions, and I thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Let's use another tool. What's this? This is a new IDE. It's VS Code. If you've used VS Code, you'll be looking at this going, here's VS Code. Oh, there's the little subscriber thingy. Look at that. And thank you, Chicken Flavored Cigarette, for having an awesome name. So this is VS Code, but it is a tool called Cursor. Cursor takes VS Code and wraps some AI stuff into it so we can ask questions. let's see if we can say line, will it understand line 27? This line gives me an error. What can I try to cast it? Let's see what, fingers crossed. Oh, let me tell you a little story about using this. First, I've discovered that GPT-4 really is better than GPT-3. When you get Cursor, you get 50 GPT-4 calls for free. And after that, they're like, you can go back down to the, to the free version. I asked it, can you simplify this this test so that we don't have to use that on did appear thing? And it's like, oh, sure. Bloop. And I swore I tried it, and I swore it worked without that, but maybe I was hallucinating. And sure enough, it starts making stuff up too. What did it? You need to cast HUD. However, direct casting is not straightforward due to the way View Inspector works. I was surprised that it knows anything about View Inspector. Navigate through the view hierarchy. No, I don't want to. Yeah, see, this is... Let's try this. Interesting idea, Dan. Let's try what it suggests, which is find the button. I have no idea what these hype trains are, but they're whatever, they're fun. An emote, a new emote. Woo! Man, I have no idea what I'm doing now. This is not what I meant at all. If you have enough RAM in your machine, LM Studio can run LLM stuff locally. It's sometimes a bit helpful. I got a crap ton of RAM here because I got it when I was needed, like I wanted app code to just fly. So I may look into that. Shoot. I wish it were more straightforward. I'm not sure what to do. I do know that we are at about the 1 hour mark and we haven't even gotten to our extra buttons and stuff. This has been fun though. And when in doubt, reset hard. Good announcement there from Grant. Check it out. Wow. Neat idea. So everyone go check that out. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? This hasn't worked as well as I hoped. The other thing we can do is pull out the precondition into its own test. But that still leaves us with the same problem, though. That the view inside of this thing, the view here, is a different beast. It is the inspectable view of the game screen. It's very concrete. And it's like, this is the game screen and this is the inspectable view. Can't I coerce this? Darn you. Let's see what this says. And this may be wrong, but it might give us some ideas. It clearly didn't know what classified view was. No. Let's go back to this idea. Can I do find? That's a button with a string, which is super handy. Find, custom view type, view type. Look at this hallucination here. Here, okay, let's try this. Maybe that's what we need. I tried button self, and maybe that was the wrong thing because I was assuming I could use a SwiftUI button, but we're inside of the mirror universe. And missing argument? Really? Why? Let's look at the documentation. Find. Actually, forget that. Let's remember that we can check view inspector tests. Is there a find in here? Probably. Find. See, look at this. View, inspect, find. Doesn't that look right? That sure looks like the same thing. What? Now it's giving me a warning. What did I change? I swear that that's what we had, but now we're getting a warning instead of an error. And that's the expected warning, is like, yeah, you're doing a fine, but you're throwing it away. Can I drop that in here? No, because that's taking a game screen, not the button. Okay. All right. I think let's come back to yes, I think we got thrown off there by the error messages. Speaking of hallucinations, so I want to come back to Dan's idea, which is maybe our helper is too opinionated. Maybe if we relax it a little and say, I'm going to pass in the inspectable something something. Yeah, maybe I need to find the button, right? Say this is like that. And this would be then button tap. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's try this and see if this still works. It's been a while since I've run tests and I'm getting the itch. Okay. So now can I get the color of guess from the button itself? To do that, I'm going to basically inline this, which is hard to do. Inline it and try extracting it again. Oops. Well, that didn't work. Whoa, 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 El Tigre. What you got? This is what I did. Let me see if I just copy and paste it, what we get. View inspector known. Oh, I see. You're making it generic here. So if it's view inspector dot inspectable view of I'm gonna keep this because we're gonna run over a little bit here. Oh, that's something you're using an internal type. I thought you were just giving me like a generic thing, but you're cheating. This is what you're saying. Really? I mean, we're back here, but let me reset. Reset. Doing this a lot today. Doing an at testable here is quite a cheat. Let me reformat this sucker. Hello. I thought it would take this and I guess not. View as inspectable view. Internal extension. Unwrapped view. Sneaky. But can we use it? I'm curious. El Tigre, what the heck? Can you explain what you figured out here? All right, the difference between this, and this. Oh yeah, you can totally inline that now. Do we have to have the try out here? Probably. What the heck? So view, you were saying you made it generic, an inspectable view of thing. Wow. And it's otherwise the same. View, and Kate takes the view and then it says pass. How did you figure that out? You mad genius. Yeah. All right. You know, it's green. Holy crap. Let me see what do we got here. This is it's all test code. Hey Tukes, welcome. So it's test code. So this is extract a generic helper that uses view inspector internal type. Should we test that the test can still fail? Yeah, we can do that. You want to see it fail? Well, we can not tap the button. Or we can say the button tap doesn't turn the color orange. Yeah. So there you go. It works great. Well, this is now dead code. And this is a rename. Wow. How about that? Okay, let's wrap it up. Let me get this in here. And let's also set up for next time. This has been a great session, you folks. So let's just to capture what we are doing. I'm not doing the you win alert yet. However, we want to tap a hole. Okay, we got that, but we're changing the definition. What we want is to tap color sets guess hole. Guess peg. This is what we want to get to now. One hole, one color. Yeah. So this is one color to tap. Refining the discovery tree is a way of communicating normally with your team, but also with yourself. Here we're gonna step away from this. By the way, next week, sorry, I'm gonna be off again next week. So we'll be back on the 28th. Let's do another retro. What did we learn? What did we learn? Yeah. The world of React. Use view inspector internal type. That was a great trick. We decided to stick with simple instead of doing the complicated one. What else did we figure out? What did we learn? Did we change much of anything in here? We didn't change anything in here. Oh yeah, we renamed it. Extracting the helper was harder. And we also got this helper, the display using. So that was nice. Take a look again at this test. It's better than when we started. I'm glad we decided to focus on, like, let's improve the readability of the test. We get the game screen. We get the color of the guess. And we say it's not orange as the precondition. Now we display the view, tap the button, and get the color of the guess again, and say, now it should be orange. Pretty nice, huh? All right. Thanks for sticking around a little longer. I thought this might be a fun session where we run over a little bit, but and I hope you don't mind. This is really interesting and learning stuff. Okay, so in 2 weeks' time, we'll come back and then we'll start adding the, like, tap this button, it should change the color here thing. This was a lot of fun, and we'll come up with this simple game. All right. Thanks again. For those who are watching, if you're watching on YouTube and you've come this far, by all means, do the things, give it a like and so forth. And yes, check out Grant's invitation to add unit tests to dub code, dub sample code. I love that idea. All right. Oh, don't mind longer sessions. Every now and then, I agree. I guess some folks, like, they'll code for 3-4 hours, and I'm like, so after this, I still have to go back and turn this into a YouTube, which doesn't take too long, but anyway. And also, right, life, as I always say, you have other things to do with your life. So do I. That's why I won't be here next week. But thanks for coming. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.